Yeah. Hi, everyone. Welcome to The Win with Heather Havenwood. And I am super excited to be completely having an awesome interview with someone who I have known for almost 2 decades. So AJ
Oh my
Puedan, are you
gosh.
here?
I am. It's been
Awesome.
almost 2 decades. Oh my gosh.
I was 10 when I met you.
Yes. Wonderful friend.
And we're still friends.
Yes. On the playground, on the swings. That was a good time.
That's right. You punched me in my nose. Or maybe I punched you. Did I punch you? I probably punched you. That's probably what
You
happened.
probably punched me.
I totally punched you. Yeah, you're not that kind of guy. So everyone, this is AJ Puedan. He's a successful and sought-after speaker. He has spoken at Harvard Business School. That means he's really smart. Where he's dazzled the audience with his own unique style of entertainment and experiential learning. AJ is the author of 3 books, including an international #1 bestseller, Training for Coaches. AJ Puedan is currently the founder and creator of Success Coach Academy, and a leading organization that certifies others as success coaches, hypnotists, and speakers. He's the producer of the podcast Warrior 2.0, Woo! The Evolution of Personal Leadership. Go check that out at iTunes, Google Play, and of course, YouTube. All right, AJ, I'm just going to dive into this, okay?
Yeah.
This
Let's
is
have
my
fun.
show. So I need to let y'all know he's got this thing called the Success Academy, okay? And I've met his students. I've had the profound privilege to talk to them. Some of them are now some of my clients, and I have been working with them to produce and launch podcast 5-year clients, including you. So now I've produced and launched 5 podcasts from your Success Academy, which is awesome, including yours.
Yes.
But here's the thing that's just so fascinating to me. You're like the Jesus.
What?
You know what I'm talking about. Like,
Okay. I
right?
do.
So I'm going there. I'm going there because it's a really critical piece of how you've been able to create this community where you were the man is you're the guy, and you're a guy. You're the guy. You're the guru. I know you don't like that word, but you are the guru, right? You 30 years experience. You are the dude. But yet, and they treat you like Jesus because like you are, but they will do anything you say. It is phenomenal to watch, and you treat them the best, and you do take them down the right direction. I completely concur. But I find it fascinating how it's almost like, well, I can't do anything until I ask Jesus. You know? So I'm like, how did you do that? If I could get my clients to just never question anything I
So
say.
here's what I think it is. As far as what to do, what's the right answers, there's a lot of right answers out there.
Oh,
There's
there's
a
a lot.
lot of expertise out there. There's, so I mean, obviously after 30 years, I know what I'm talking about. So the content, the advice, the strategy, that's all good. And yet what you're talking about is why is it that way is because I do more than that. I'm not just giving them good knowledge and good advice. I I'm doing, what my podcast talks about, leadership. I'm being vulnerable with them. I'm being real with them. I'm being heart connected with them. They know that I absolutely care about them incredibly. And so, I've done a lot of business, had lots of different businesses and reinvented it a few times. And I'll tell you, after 30 years, the way that I'm running my business today is the happiest business model I have ever had. I've had other business models that were more financially profitable.
Mhm.
However, but totally stressful.
Yeah.
And what I'm doing right now is happy. It's
Happy.
happy, and that is awesome.
Happy money.
Yes, happy buddy.
It really is happy money. I've seen your students. I've talked to them. They're happy. You're
Hmm.
happy. They're all like one big happy family tribe, and they're all kumbayaing. But honestly, it's a very profound tribe in that they're being very successful inside of that themselves. Like they are getting a lot out of it. I see you're happy. I've known you a long time, and I've seen you're just like super chill. So I don't know if you are open to sharing more of your business model with people, and maybe they can go, oh, I can do that too, or that's interesting. What are you doing with your business model? Like what's been different
So
about this?
A few things from a business model point of view, and then I'll
Yeah.
talk about culture because culture is a huge part of it, right? Um, Before I used to sell seminar after seminar after seminar after seminar, right? So, you sell a $5,000 seminar to 100 people. Now, the next time you sell another 5,000, you got like 50 people. And then you sell
Right.
another 5,000, you got, 25, and then 10 people. And it just keeps on kind of dwindling down in that way. And that's not what I'm doing now. Now, because I hated thinking, okay, I could work with this person to this degree, but if they want more, then they're going to have to pay me more. And I was like, my wrists were chained. I couldn't help them unless they bought these other things, and sometimes they just needed to take some time to get success. So I wanted to be there long term for them. In my business, I tell them, look, if you're not planning on staying with me for at least a year, I'm not the person for you, right? You need to be thinking long term. If you're looking for instant change, that's not it. I'm not that person. And so now I just have a continuity model. It's just a monthly investment every single month. I say that it's a minimum of 6 months. They need to be thinking a year, and yet the reality is, the least I've had a person is 14 months, and after month 6, I have to earn them giving value every single month in order to keep them. And it's a high price, right? And so I do that. I just over deliver. I just give as much as I can in this particular model. And I love that. I love the fact that I don't have to think about, milking a person for more funds or more money or something like that, or tease them. I could just be there for them. And then now that goes into the culture now where I can just authentically be there. And one of the reasons why I started the rebranded with Warrior 2.0 was because all my students, they were getting success, they were getting progress. And then there was this time where I really wanted them to take a jump, do something daring, do something new, something big. And they weren't doing it. I was like, why not? I kept telling them the stories of my experience and how I've done that and how it was good, but that was what I was doing. I was telling them about my experience. For the last few years, I was playing it safe because I had experience. I didn't need to take these big risks anymore. Right. But because even though I told them to risk, they were doing more of what I was doing, not what I was saying. And so it's like, oh, if I want them to change, I'm going to need to take on something big as well. And I can't do something safe. I'm going to have to do something scary,
That's exactly why. So I just love this because you and I had this private conversation about that. You had 4 of your clients say yes, that they were going to all get out there and put their faces on these podcasts and really take this step out. And then I just kind of looked at you like, so when are you going to do it? Because if your students are going beyond you, that is not good. And you're like, oh, I know. It's
not leadership, right?
You're like, I have to, because here I am telling them, oh, this is great that you're doing this, little ducklings. But you've got to stay ahead of them, And what my coach even says that. She's like, honestly, she said this to me, one of the most profound privileges of being a coach is that they push you, because you've got to stay ahead of everything, in the moment. And you want your students to go beyond you. You do want at some point to go, wow, they went beyond me. That's great. But at the same time, you've got to stay ahead of it. It's like having I always give an analogy of a fitness trainer who's like 40 pounds overweight, right? And you're like, how am I supposed to be over here being disciplined myself and all this when you look at you, like, look at you as a trainer, as a coach, as anything like that, where you're helping people change, or you're asking them to change, or you're being a change maker at any level, you've got to do the work yourself. Spirituality level, personal development level, all that. So I just love that.
So one of the things that I see other experts do is they might share with their community all their wins. See, this is what I'm doing. This is what's successful. They want to keep looking good.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I'm doing is I am, before I do something, I tell them my fears. I'm telling what's going on, because they don't need to see me just be successful. They need to see me have obstacles and keep going, because when they can learn that, well, then now I don't have to worry about them. If they ever get stopped, they're going to keep going because that's what they saw me do. Right. So they need to actually see me get stopped. They need to see me fall down. They need to see me fail a little bit.
Yeah.
And they need to see me fail and get up, stand up, and do it again until I get it. Right. So right now I just took up rollerblading just to
Did you really?
embody that more. And so yeah, it's I put on those skates and I was out with my little girl and I did a whoop boom right flat back on my back. And you know what I did? I got back up and I started skating again. So
Well, that's what exactly. That's part of the process of being a coach. I think is you have to be ahead of the game, and just I mean I think that's really awesome. I think that's what you're doing right now with Warrior 2.0, which is your new podcast. Go check it out on iTunes, Google Play, and YouTube. But also with your Success Coach Academy. And you and I talked about this. I kind of want to cut you to go a little bit more into it. What is Success Coach Academy, and who is it for?
You know, I used to teach, as I said, event after event after event. And I realized it's not just one thing that makes, a person ready. It's almost a curriculum of things, right? So, so instead of like a linear, class 1, 2, 3, 4, I kind of think of it as a circle. Like you don't need you need to finish your curriculum. So if you were going to university, you don't just study your one subject. You have to study many subjects to get your degree, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what this is. It's kind of like a, alternative academy school. You need to learn, you need to understand about people, the core beingness. You need to understand about the subconscious mind. You need to understand about their ability to implement and produce in the world. You need to understand health, relationships, finances, personal finances, and creating abundance. And so instead of teaching it, selling one again and again, it's just kind of all encompassing. I give them everything. And so I teach an event, a live event every single month. In the academy, we do a lot of stuff online that they do. I have programs that are pre-written that they can get started with, and it's a community where they learn all those traits.
So I have been to many of your events before. Mm-hmm. One of the last ones was Tampa. It was a long time ago, actually.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And I have to say, you over-deliver a lot, which is great. And you have this profound ability you're a teacher, you're an educator. Like ultimately you're really good at breaking things down. And I just absolutely love that about you. Cause I'm not, I keep selling. I'll just keep selling it. So I love that about you. I love that about you. You're an educator and teacher. You have the ability to break things down in such a way that people can consume them. But something that a lot of people don't know about you, unless they know you for a long time like me, is that you used to be part of a company that did presentations for speakers. I want you to talk about that because you now teach your people that, but that is really profound, like that specific time in your life. And now you're actually using that and leveraging that and putting that into your academy. Can you talk about that?
Sure, absolutely. And so, after 30 years in the industry, I got a chance to see a lot of speakers and see what works. And there was always just like a whole bunch of ideas, tips, and tips and ideas of how to do a good presentation and how to sell from the stage better. And I really just kind of took what I learned and I just put it into a system, into a format, into a template so that it could be duplicated. And so at one point, I started a company with a couple other fellas, and we wrote over 120 sales presentations in the first year at $10,000 a pop. That was pretty good. And our first 4 clients all were brand new in the industry, and they all did $1 million their first year in the industry. It was like, wow. It's like people says, how'd that make you feel? Did that make you feel good that they made $1,000,000? Yeah, I said, when we charge them $10,000 and they make $200,000, it's like, hey, yeah, we won. When they make $500,000, it's like, oh man, it was home run. When they make $1,000,000, it's like, darn it, we didn't charge them enough.
Right. That's how I feel. I'm like, I did not charge him enough.
Exactly. But, after 120 presentations, that's 120 speakers every weekend using these presentations and giving me feedback about what's working and not working, what was working with certain industries and not other industries. To have our finger on the pulse of what's going on in the marketplace, that gave us a very specialized information and feedback that very few people had. Mm-hmm. And that made us able to adjust our system. And now I teach it at our academy as well. Because you can have a great product, but unless you can get it out there, it doesn't make a difference. It's
very true. So let me explain what this is if people don't understand. So what he did was he would work with speakers that had some kind of product or service. Either they're selling another seminar or selling another information marketing product on the stage, a stage where they did not get paid to be there. They had to pay their way there. And then they got on stage, and the way they made money was to sell that product or service on stage. So they got one shot. They got that 90 minutes or that 60 minutes shot. And if they didn't present correctly in a good way, they got nothing. And they just spent $2,000, $3,000 to get there by themselves. And they just ROI'd, right? No ROI, made no money, as we call it. Red zone. So what he did is he charged $10,000 to create this presentation, because most people who are good at the service and our product are not good at the sales presentation. They're usually not. They have to be taught that, or literally a systemization. So that's what he's talking about. If you now, hope you understand, he was part of that organization, but now part of his system, his current Success Coach Academy, is just part of it, just part of being it. You can just be a part of it, and that's what you get, right? So it's just part of the process. Pretty much
get everything.
Yeah, everything you get everything. He gets, so just give people an idea what else is everything. Give us like a 2 or 3 more, because you do one a month.
Yeah, sure.
By the way, is a little cray. I just have to say, I need to say that, because you're cray on that. That's crazy. Most people would not do an event a month. They just wouldn't. I think it's great that you do that. You're amazing, but I don't want people to think that that is normal. It is not. You're just cray. So,
Well, yeah, in each of those events are either 3 to 5 days, all day, all night, just me. And so that's
cray. That's cray. I just do not follow that part of the model, people. That's cray.
But that's what makes me happy. If I don't do it, I get depressed. I really do.
AKA, like I said, cray. That's nuts.
Exactly. So. Okay. So some of the other things, for example, our Success Coach certification class. It's, today everyone's an expert, and all of a sudden they're a coach. And, just because you did $1 million in real estate doesn't mean you know how to teach it. Okay. You might be good at it, but it doesn't mean you can teach it. Right?
Praise Jesus on that. That is so true. Just because you have bought and sold houses for 10 years and great, or a real estate agent and great for 10 years, doesn't mean you are good at teaching that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you want to be a teacher in school, you don't just say, hey, is there an application? Can I fill this out like McDonald's, right? You have to go to school. You have to learn the skills of being a teacher first before you can be a teacher. And so there's skills of being a coach. How do you get someone to go beyond their normal behavior? How do you get them to, get beyond themselves, right? And so there's a whole process of that to be effective in getting people into action. Most people know what to do. They just can't get themselves to do it. So a coach is there to, most people are coaches and consultants. Consultants going to tell them what to do, but the coach is going to get them to do it. So that's one course. Then we have the business hypnotist hypnotherapy course, where we actually teach regressional hypnotherapy. And because as much as people know what to do, sometimes they just get in their own way. Yeah. And when it comes to business, who they are as a person reflects 100% in their business. And so if they want their business, if they're stuck in their business, that means they're stuck emotionally as a person. So we go, you actually learn to be the hypnotist right? So it's not just going through the hypnosis process. It's not just giving you a fish. We actually teach you the process. Therefore, you be the best, learner of all, about getting into the subconscious level to find out what stops a person and eradicating that, and then totally empowering them. Basically hypnotize them to be successful, right? So that's another course that happens in the academy. We talked about presentation skills and being able to convey your value to other people in a way that inspires them to act and purchase and buy into your products and service. So we do that as a workshop every other month, and then we have a full-on retreat where it's not just about getting ideas about being the best you can be. It's actually living it. So that's our Warrior 2.0 retreat. We get to put them up on 40-foot poles. We do these big corporate challenges, real world challenges. I bring in martial artists and other warriors and business experts, and we start to go through processes to where we actually live, practice, learn, and get to experience courage, discipline, and positive mindset.
I love it. That's pretty hot. That's a lot.
Oh yeah, there's so much more.
There's so much more. Yeah, we just kind of like tipped the iceberg. So where can they go check out Success Coach Academy?
Well, it all starts off with our Warrior program. So they go to warrior20.com and check out our retreat, because when that's the first step to personal leadership. Before even taking those other types of courses, you have to be willing to walk the talk first, and that's where we go into our Warrior retreat.
Nice, I love that. Okay, great. Warrior20.com. Got it.
Yep.
I love that. Now, he just started a podcast, Warrior 2.0, and it's in iTunes, Google Play. Go check that out. Again, this is AJ Puedan. He's international bestseller. Any last words on where you want to share people and like what do you want to say to them? Any last words before we wrap it up with the win with Heather Havenwood?
Where it all started for me was I wanted to have a purpose in my life. And I know there's a lot of people out there who sometimes feel a little lost or don't know what's next or not sure what value you have. And yet I want you to know that I see you and that you matter, you're amazing, and the world needs to see you as well. So I think people are precious. Go out there and win.
Win on the win with Heather Havenwood. Thank you for that plug.
Yeah. Yes.
That was awesome. Thank you for that plug. That's so great. I love that you said that that you see them. That's just so heartfelt. You're definitely a heart entrepreneur. I've seen that in you for a long time. So everyone check out AJ Puedan and warrior20.com or go check out his new podcast, Warrior 2.0 on iTunes. All right, everyone. This is Heather Havenwood with The Win.
Bye, everybody.